How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. It has been approximately 4 months since my last update, and I can only apologise. I'm pretty sure we've all kind of seen what's been going on with the market. We've got wars, we've got inflation, all sorts is going on. As such, we are heading to a global financial crash. And I'm going to do a separate video on that when we get to it. But what I want to do today is just lock in a quick update on SHPING. I think you might have seen a few of my previous videos on SHPING because I just love saying it. This is the shopping app that's based out in Australia. There's a lot of talk about it being adopted by Amazon, which I'm going to shut that down right now. They're not being adopted by Amazon, but they do use the Amazon Web Service software. So they are connected. So who's to say in the future what could happen? But they are in bed paying Amazon a fee, and they're using some of their software. So essentially, what's been going on? I'm just going to basically show you now that this is on the hourly chart. That we have the Fibonacci. You've all been watching my previous videos, I hope, and I'm not going to go into how it works, but essentially what's happened is we have lost support at a certain level, which was at 1336. We came down, we pumped up, we didn't really hold any support as such. We've back tested, we've lost the support, tried to go again, failed, and as you can see, for like 4 or 5 hours we've held that support, but eventually, like anything, if you're hanging off the edge of the cliff, you're going to fall. As you can see, after we did fall, it was gradual because we tried to get back above, but the support just wasn't there. The only next stop was the following support on Fibonacci, which was down at 10.2. So from 13.3 down to 10.2, it's quite a substantial drop. We're looking about 25%. And then from there, if you have a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we boxed ourselves into a corner. Now, at this point, if someone had said to me what's going to happen, I'd have openly said we are either going to have a nice big pump, possibly a protection bounce to keep us from losing the support and basically making a new lower low, which is what played out, or we'd have significantly shat the bed and ended up coming down to 006, which from, we wouldn't have wanted to see a 40% drop. So really good that there was some support here. I think we saw about 6,000%, about 6,000% worth of volume going in. That possibly could have been back here actually, but similar scenario. Once we're at those points where there's no return before we have humongous drops, you will see protection bounces, and sometimes those protection bounces work quite well in terms of finding new support, and then retail gets involved, and boom, off we go. So what's going on at the moment, which is the main reason for this video, is that we've had this bounce. We're over the Shimoku on the hourly chart. If we take it to the daily, you will see that what's happened is we had this protection bounce from the new low, which took us right up to, I want to say 2.4. Yeah, it's about 2.4. And then obviously we've retraced back because you do get a significant sell-off, which brought us back to the 786 for the move. Again, do look back at some of my videos because I do explain the use of Fibonacci, also coupling in the Ichimoku cloud. So those are my two preferred methods of analyzing where a token is and what's going on. So on the daily, you can see that we've had our move. We've come back to the 786, which was extremely fortunate to also be the base of the Ichimoku cloud. So we had some support there as well, and since then we've moved on, and we do seem to be getting stuck at 1784. If I pull it back to the 30-minute, I want to show you something, which is something else I look for with my trading, which isn't really anything to do with the Ichimoku at all. That might be a little bit too zoomed. There we go. Hope you can see that more clearly. So from our move, where we lifted off, we've hit a ceiling, and we've had an hour, because this is the 30-minute chart, we've had an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of trying to break through that ceiling, lost the support, and as such we retraced back. We found some support here with regards to the Fibonacci, and what we've done there is we've pushed up again to try and break through this 1784, 1787 area, and we haven't, but we've created a flag formation, and I drew this line out basically once we'd had this this point of support here and point of resistance there. And if I zoom out a little bit like that, you will see what I mean by flag formation. So if you imagine that this is your flagpole and this is your flag upon that pole, when you have a flat top, it's highly likely that you are going to have this bouncing off of, like, you've bounced off, you've been rejected, you bounce back, you find support, you go again, and once you find that resistance again, you come back and you find some support. This time it was at a higher level, which is very good for us, and then we've gone again. And as you can see, for the last 2 hours, or we've had 2 attempts in the last 3 hours to actually break above the 1784. Now, one of 2 things is going to happen here. We're going to continue to zigzag until there's nowhere to go, and then we're going to launch, and that should see us get above the 2 cent range, and I'm going to mark that green because I do expect it to play out. And the other thing that could happen, and I'll go back to the hourly chart for this, and I'll spread it out just a touch, is we're going to zigzag and go, or we are going to find a point where we've attempted to get in and past the 1784 mark, and then we're going to come down, and we'll probably bounce off of the Ishimoku cloud, possibly fall through it, find some support, zigzag a little while. We won't go through a green Ichimoku cloud, and again there's videos to explain that, so we would then backtrack to circa the cent range at 101, and then we'd see some zigzag before we had an open door and we attempted to go again. That I'm going to mark red. I don't see it playing out. I do believe that SHPING is setting itself up to go. So fingers crossed to all who's in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hours really before this thing either goes or takes a downturn. So slightly long video, but thank you to everyone who has maintained their support. Do remember to check us out on the Patreon, because we do kind of need that support to keep us alive, and then you'll see much more updates from me. Add some comments. Do you feel good or bad on this one? Do you think it's going to fly? Do you think my analysis is accurate? And let me know if there's any other tokens you want me to cover. I will be looking at Moss Carbon shortly, but I hope you all have a great day and take care.